Hey everybody, it's your creativity producer and professional mess maker, me, Teresa. I'm back, and this week I want to talk to you about a few things. I am going to start posting and connecting the free weekly training series that I offer on a wide variety of topics in these live posts. So I'm going to try to connect them together. They won't necessarily be on the same topics because I'm going to connect weekly training series that have already been posted to current lives. So like today's live is going to be a version of the weekly training series that has already been available for a while. In each weekly training series are topics like what we discuss in the group. In the weekly training series, you get tips, tools, activities, and a weekly challenge. Sorry. A weekly challenge. All that connects to one topic. I'm going to try my best to get back on the bandwagon here with offering you guys in the group a weekly challenge where I really want to see you guys use the skill for that week. And that's the whole point of the challenge, is to get you guys thinking about how you can develop the skill of the week as you learn and play and engage at home or in your home classroom or whatever your particular case may be. But now, for today, I want to talk to you about one of my favorite things to use when I was a teacher before I started working one-on-one with parents and caregivers, which is using make-believe play. You can use make-believe play for a wide variety of reasons. We're going to get into a lot of those reasons, but the one I want to focus on for today is something that we've been talking about, again, in the group, that I think works very well with make-believe play, and that is problem solving. Problem solving can be, ways to make kids independent, whether that's choosing their own meals or creating their own lunches, or doing daily chores such as feeding the family pet, or putting their own clothes away. It's going to vary depending on the age of your child or children. But I want to talk a little bit about ways that you can use make-believe play to get kids to independently learn to solve problems or learn to use their conflict resolution skills. Looks like our sign is falling off the wall here. I'm experimenting with ways to tack it up. Let me know what you guys think of the sign, by the way. If you come to events that the Creative Campus is going to be participating in, this is now the sign that you will see, and unfortunately it looks like it's backwards. I didn't think about that, but that's okay. So that will be part of live events, and I think it came out really cute. So let me know what you think. So using make-believe play for learning, building skills, including problem solving. You can use make-believe play scenarios to practice a specific skill or learn a specific subject area. For instance, if you are wanting to practice math or practice science, a good way to do that is cooking. So you can either offer an actual cooking activity. I like to revert to Play-Doh. But again, as I said a second ago, you could even offer kids real food, raisins or celery sticks, or even English muffins and cheese to make their own pizzas. And that's a way to get kids to experiment with food. If you're happen to be working with picky eaters, kids will explore things if they feel like they are in control of it. So in introducing new foods, if you introduce fruits and vegetables in the form of a juice and say that they're going to make their own popsicles as a sweet treat, to try different flavors and see if they can decipher what the different flavors are based on the different colors. That's a fun way to get kids to try foods that they wouldn't otherwise try if they had to, say, look at a plate of broccoli or, peas or chicken or whatever it is that they have a urge to fight trying. What was I going to say? Lost my train of thought a little bit. So using make-believe play where you can either offer Play-Doh or, like I said, real food and toppings and things, you can create a make-believe pizzeria. And by getting kids to engage in make-believe play, they're going to overcome some of their own limitations through play that they are able to control. They're going to get to hopefully engage with kids of their own age or similar ages. If you're working in a classroom setting or even with multiple siblings, there tends to be a lot of sibling rivalry when you have kids of multiple ages. And using make-believe play is a good way to get them to come together to create play and solve conflicts and build communication around a form of play, something that is fun, something that they want to engage in. And you can do this, again, with creating a pizzeria or putting together a workshop, and perhaps they're construction workers and everybody has their own job and they're working together to achieve one goal, perhaps building a castle or, a massive fort. Perhaps they use blankets and blocks and who knows what you might have available depending on your resources and, again, the setting that you are working with children within. Kids love to be creative. They love to feel like they are in control of a situation, even their learning situation. So when they feel like they can explore something that they might not necessarily be very skilled at, like stacking blocks on top of each other to create a tower, it's a fun way to get them to practice that skill without being afraid that they're not going to do it right, because they're experimenting and they're pretending and they're getting to take on a role that is different from their real life role. So they can pretend to be a construction worker and not themselves, and so they're willing to see how high they can build that tower. Even if it does happen to fall over, they're going to be more willing to try again to see if they can get it higher than the previous time without feeling like, oh, they failed and I can't build and I don't want to do it anymore and all of those things. It's a good way to get kids to kind of let go of those fears a little bit and practice skills in a setting that they're being creative and that they feel in control of. You can do make-believe play that focuses on science, which are some of my favorite things to do. I don't know where you're watching this from, and I would love to know if you wanted to leave me a comment. But here, where I am doing this live from, it is playing games with us, whether it's spring or winter. One day it's nice and sunny and warm outside, and you could be outside without a jacket. And then you have days like the last few days where we are getting snow and below freezing temperatures. So below freezing temperatures probably isn't going to be the easiest weather to get outside and explore and, investigate the outdoors and things around you. Or go on scavenger hunts or build obstacle courses or those kinds of things, which are other great ways to use make-believe play. Going on great adventures. Those were some of my favorite things to do as a teacher with my classes was every day we would go on an adventure, aka walk, and we would explore and we would see what different things we could find, whether that was, bugs or animals or plants. Kids love to collect flowers, dandelions, violets, things like that. It gives them a sense of pride that they picked something that they feel is pretty, and you can use those things after they've picked them and they've started to wilt and put them in your science center and allow kids to pretend that they're gardeners or that they're a scientist and they're exploring the different parts of those flowers and what happens to those different flowers in different conditions and circumstances. Just another fun way to use and incorporate make-believe play into science. You can also use make-believe play to practice math, to engage in group games. You can... A really good group game that I like to get groups to engage in together is what I like to call Robot Factory. I love robots. I love technology. I love, getting kids to experiment with cause and effect. And so Robot Factory is something that's really fun. Kids get to use their creativity. They get to construct robots. They get to use their eye-hand coordination, stacking things on top of each other, gluing things on of different colors, those kinds of things. And what you can do is you can incorporate math into that by either giving kids story problems at each individual little station. At this station, you have boxes or cans or whatever, and your mission at this station is to take, and you can give them a number, a shape, a color, a size, and they have to identify those things at this particular station, take items that fit that description, and either start building a robot or take it from one station to another and put whatever is at station number 1 together with what is at station number 2 and start to build a robot. Be creative with it. Have fun with it. You know your child's skill level and interest level and what areas they need focus on and what areas they need to practice certain skills with. So I encourage you to keep that in mind when you are creating make-believe play. It's one of my favorite, or actually it's not one of my favorite, it is my favorite form of play, not only to offer kids to engage in, but to observe them engaging in, because they become little adults. And you'll start to hear them relay language that they hear adults that they're around using. Sometimes they use it in the proper context, sometimes they don't, and it's just really fun to watch them engage in ideas and themes and learning areas that they're not familiar or skilled in. So as I mentioned earlier, I'm going to start attaching my free weekly training series to the posts for these videos, and I encourage you to sign up for the free weekly training series. In them, you get tips, you get tools, you get activities, and all the way down at the bottom, I've actually included these cute little puppets. They're printables for numbers and letters, and you can use those to recreate games and different your own learning activities, perhaps something that you could use on the go, something that you could bring in a very easy carry case. If you're going to the doctor's and you want to give the children something to occupy themselves while you're waiting. So that's all part of the free weekly training series, and it is free. You might need to go through a little bit of a sign-up process for each one that you want to watch, but it's all free. You're not asked to pay for anything. The information that you are asked for is just to deliver the free weekly training series directly to you. I also post those through the Facebook group, so if you haven't done that yet, you can head on over to the Facebook group and join us. I share free tips, tools, and activities every day. Okay? Well, I hope you have enjoyed this, and I can't wait to hear your comments on how you use make-believe play to build skills at home or in your classrooms. Have a great day.